Good morning students. In this video, I am Akansha Vishnoi will talk about lesson 9 of class 8th Geography. So my dear students, as the chapter name says, India Human Resources. So as far as resources are concerned, there are a lot of resources which needs to be available in our country. And that is the reason human resource is one of the resource which is really important factor in the country. In the earlier chapters, we have talked about a lot of resources. So one of its kind, the human resource, is the resource which is really needed. Why? Because the humans are the ones who are making the resources available to the people or to its population. Human resources basically includes what? The qualities of the humans, the skills of the humans, and the abilities, knowledge, wisdom and health. These are the resources which are available to the humans, and that is the reason we are providing all of our resources to develop the other resources for its population. Resources such as industries, buildings, roads, schools, hospitals and the government bodies, etc. These are only developed by the human resources. So whatever the resources which are created by the human beings, they are known as man-made resources. So what do we call it? Man-made resources. Now the other thing which is available and which is really important nowadays, that is this word. This is technology. I hope you all have heard this word a lot of time. So the technology also plays a very important role in the lives of the human beings, right? So what is it? It is also technology is something, an application where the knowledge and skills are being applied by doing things or by making things. And it is also a man-made resources. So technology, without technology we are not able to work. The videos which I am sharing and on which I am talking to you, it is a part of the technology. It is developed by the human and utilized by the humans only. So that is why the technology and the human resource which we are talking about is really important factor in the country. And it also helps in the economic development of our country, India. So if I talk about the all-round development of the country, it's not only dependent much on the number of the people, because it is required on their knowledge, skills, intelligence, health and so on. So whenever we are improving on those qualities of the people, that is known as human resource development. What do we call it? Human resource development. When we are developing the human resources by putting up different more resources on the humans to develop their skills, their knowledge, their wisdom and to their health. That is where the human resource development comes. By improving the qualities of the people. Now the next topic is census. Census is, you all might have heard a lot of time also, and recently there was a census also happened to be in the news. Previous year, I would say that it is 2022. You might have heard about the census also. What is it? It is basically a country's population when it is officially counted by a certain process. And any process which has been utilized to count the number of the people or the population in any country. So as far as in India, the census is taken every 10 years. Right? In every 10 years. So that is why according to the 2011 census, which is on the figure 9.1 on page number 105, you can see there are a lot of years which are given in the book, where every 10 years it has been counted the approximate population as given in the million numbers years it is given. But after 1991, you might have seen a sudden change in the population, and then afterwards in 2011 also. According to 2011 census, there was a population of more than 1210 million, that is 121 crore. So India is again the most populous country after the China, and it has, even if I talk about the land area, the land area is also very less, but along with that there are a lot of population. So India is having about 17% of world population, 17%, which is a very huge number of population as compared to the land area. Next topic is the population change in India. What do you understand by population change? It contains again two words, population and change. Then when the population changes, why it is changing? Because it is totally dependent on the birth rate and the death rate in any country. So what is the birth rate? A number of the lives birth per thousand in a year, that is what we call a birth rate. And when we talk about the death rate, it is again the number of the deaths per thousand people in a year. So when we talk about the difference between these two, that is the birth rate and the death rate, we got to get a natural increase in the population. That is how your population change took place in any country. Now there are a lot of reasons and the factors which happens to be in the change, which happens in the change in the population. What is it? First of all, the majority of the things and the majority of the population happens to be like the migration, right? Migrating from the one country or to one continent, or maybe to one region to the another region, right? So whenever the migration took place, there will be a change in the population in any place or any region or any territory. It could be an inward, into the region or out of the region. As previously I have talked about the census, I have told you about that there are a lot of changes. The sudden change happens to be in the year of 1991 and in the year after that. Why? Because there were not much change happened to be, because of there are not much facilities available to its people. Like there were a lot of diseases due to there were a lot of wars, there were a lot of famine situation which took also many lives, and that is why there was very little change in the population. And if I talk about, then afterwards a lot of improvement took place in the medical facilities, health facilities, and all of these. That is why the number of deaths have been reduced to some extent. Then there were a lot of decline in the death rate also. There was a life expectancy with them. What is life expectancy? It's the average number of the years a person is expected to live at birth, which has been increased also. Now the death rate has also fallen very considerably. The birth rate has also shown as a similar decline. There were a lot of factors again. Why? There was poverty, there was a lack of education, especially among the women, and the practice of the early marriages, and so on. Thank you students for watching the video.